And now, this is exciting. Like I said earlier, it always seems like our sessions just sort of come together. On the phone, we have Lawrence Sal, and Lawrence is the CEO of Leafit. Leafit. Lawrence, welcome to Money Talk.
Hello, thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Lawrence, we're so excited to talk about your Leafit app. Of course, we had you on Live with Aaron and Kelly, but we had to bring you to the Money Talk audience because the reality is you've made a social network and an app which helps people make money by using Leafs. Can you explain that?
Yeah, basically what it is it's a social network where people post stories. In this case, it's pictures right now. And when they post those pictures, they can monetize those pictures. Or in other words, they can attach the products to those pictures. And then if somebody decides they want to buy something as a result of that user's post, they make a commission. And what's really neat about it is it doesn't change what people are already doing. They just do the same thing that they're already doing, and it shares to their Facebook, to their Twitter, wherever they want to share it to. But they just get to that one really important piece, and that is they have the ability to tag and monetize the content during the post.
So Lawrence, how many products do you have cataloged that they can tag in their photos from which they can gain revenue?
Oh, geez, that's impossible to know. Amazon is one of our retailers, and we have over 19,000 retailers. And do you know how many products Amazon has just by themselves? I mean, it's we have Walmart, Neiman Marcus, you name it. If they're a brand name or a big retailer, they're one of our retailers. So I would say in the billions or trillions of products.
So it's a pretty good odds that if someone puts a product out there that if they're wearing a particular set of shoes or a shirt or perhaps a purse, there's a pretty good shot that they're going to be able to tag it with something to have a shot at earning some income there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I'm looking at you right now, and I'm looking at your tie, and you probably go shopping on a regular basis for ties, right?
I do.
So, I know I've posted which tie should I get, and then, the 1, 2, or 3, and then, people vote, and they say their votes, and then they're like, wow, I really like that tie. So what you're saying is somebody now knows where they can buy, they can click on the link that's attached to it, go and purchase that, and I automatically get a commission from that.
That is correct.
So, really, Lawrence, I mean, for years we've heard, folks say content is king. And so now, now you've sort of taken that whole idea of content to the next level. Right now with your platform, you said, you were focusing in on photos. Is there any thought in the future to maybe then transition to video or some other form of content, maybe a radio recording where Aaron speaks to my tie?
Well, I don't know about somebody speaking to a tie, but as far as the types of media that we're going to allow people to share, we're obviously looking at people be able to do just a regular status update, upload a video, post a picture, the very general ones. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's based on photos, but our user interface design allows us to be able to implement other types of media without any problem.
And so how are you, so your platform, it's a standalone platform, but how do you sort of tie into the other more popular platforms out there? I mean, can photos, let's say, for example, I'm a very active Facebook user, and I have thousands of photos. Can I easily port those photos into my Leafit account so that I can then start tagging those and making money?
Well, right now, what we have as a solution is basically when you use the Leafit app, or what I've noticed all the users that have been calling it in beta testing, a lot of people are referring to it as the IT app, is I've noticed that you'll get your news feed from Facebook, Twitter, from your other social networks. You'll be able to see real-time pictures that your friends are posting, and you'll be able to tag those. However, whatever photos you have cataloged over at Facebook or that you have in your libraries over there, you're not going to be able to port those over into Leafit. But when you create a Leaf, which is our term or our way of saying when you create a post, you'll be able to upload one from your computer, take one live, or search one online through public images. So, but right now we don't bring them over. But like I said, it's really convenient because you do see real-time photos. So if you posted something like today on Facebook and you were using the Leafit app, you would see that picture on Leafit and you'd be able to tag it.
That sounds good.
Now I have a question because obviously, people go to catalogs to shop, but when they do social networking, they don't necessarily go to social networking to shop. Although it's kind of like a chance, like, oh, they see it, and now that moves them to get that step closer to actually purchase it. What are you getting from your beta testers? Just in the engagement of these pictures, are they so much so into the pictures that they actually are buying, or is it that there's it being coupled with Facebook and Twitter that it's like an integration of those social networks, bringing it back?
It's a really interesting. What I've noticed has been very, very interesting anyways, because there's tons of clicks going through to the links on these products, and there's even purchases happening already, and that was during our beta testing when the commissions weren't even connected to user accounts. But because we're not only searching 19,000 plus retailers, but we're also sourcing great deals for people, people are finding better deals on our app, and they're finding, say, at Amazon, just shop in Amazon or Google, that people are buying things just to save the money, right? So I think, you have a few different types of users. You have people who are going to, a majority of the time use the app to just share stuff, and then you have people who are going to use the app the majority of the time to do purchases. And I think there'll be a happy medium with that. The fact that it's conveniently there, just offers that stimulation to a user like, oh, well, I could buy this if I want, or I could buy something similar. In fact, we have some new flows that are going to be coming out on the product in the next few weeks where you don't just have to buy what they tag. You can buy whatever you want from a picture. You could look at a picture and they could make you say, you know what, I want a boogie board. And you could buy a boogie board from that picture. So we're kind of expanding on the visual stimulation of I'm looking at something and it made me want something. You know what I mean?
I love it because it's great on metrics as well, because like as in entertainment, obviously we approach very big companies to say, look, we can use your product as placement in either our show or in our engagement on Instagram, or we'll talk a lot about you on Facebook. But then there's that always, well, how do they know what their return is? So what I like about this is, like you said, you mentioned some very big outlets, Walmart, I think you said
Amazon.
Amazon. And although the individual person can sign up to each one of these, all of those big companies don't really want to deal with individual people. But through your app, basically, they are able to tap into that big giant, corporate structure of other companies. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just basically like we have the relationship developed. So a user just has to set up an account. And naturally, just by having an account and using our product, they become a marketer of all the products in their life naturally. So they can tag anything they want, as long as it's not malicious, and share it. So they don't have to worry about going and getting the deal with Amazon or another affiliate. They don't have to worry about marketing it so much. They just have to use a social network and naturally draw people to their content.
So, Lawrence, you launched this in beta back in April, I understand. Are you now accepting new users? I mean, are you limiting it, or are you, are folks listening, can they go in and can they sign up now?
Well, right now, everybody can sign up. We actually went into beta in May of this year, the beginning of May. We started with a team of maybe 5-6 people. Now we've grown that beta team to, I think it's 700 or 800 users. And literally, when I log into the app, I'm seeing a post almost every minute. That's how active people are right now, just as beta testers. And as far as our release, we're in the submission process with Apple right now. So we're hoping that comes out first thing next week, and then it'll be public. And then we're going to call that version 1.0. We're still going to call it a beta launch, even though we're going to the public with it. It's still going to be considered a beta launch because we have identified, like any new product, a couple of problems that we want to correct in the coming, 3 to 4 weeks before we push the next update, as we roll into August and September.
So this is an exciting thing, and by the way, I did not know this because unfortunately I have an Android, and the Android is later on this year going to be released, but what you're talking about is going to be for the iPhone being released. Is that right?
Yes. The way we have it right now, you always build on one platform first, and the reason that you do that is any problems that you come across, if you have to make changes, that costs a lot of money. A development team like we have building a product like this is a heavy amount of money. And the last thing you want to do is develop it for all platforms at the same time and then identify that problem like we did, like I just mentioned, and then say, okay, now we got to redo it on all 3 platforms. It's easier to build it on one platform, test it for a while, make sure you get all the bugs and all the functionalities and the user experience that you want, and then once you say, okay, this is exactly what we want, and now we can just build on it from here, that's when you develop into the other platforms. And I feel like we've identified those problems already, so we're actually already in the phase of resourcing the development teams to begin desktop mobile optimized and also Android development. So we're looking at probably 3 to 4 months in development on that, where we go into a beta in a couple of months, because the back end of this whole system's already been built for all platforms. So really all we're developing is the front-end applications.
That's interesting. I mean, Google is never out of beta, are they? I mean, Google's been in beta as long as I've known them. So, so I would say that's probably not a bad strategy. So, Lawrence, how do folks, download? How do they get an account with Leafit?
Well, right now, because it's a money-making product, it has, kind of an affiliate business model attached to it where you invite people and you can benefit from, the success of the people you invite. So leafit.biz / whatever the person's username may be that invites you. If you aren't invited, then you just sign up at leafit.biz, you request an invite, and then you will be connected and set up with an account immediately.
Sounds perfect. Well, Lawrence Sal with Leafit, thank you for joining us on Money Talk this afternoon.
Thanks a lot, Jesse, and everybody else, and have a fantastic day.
Thank you.